You know when you're playing video games and you hit a rough patch and you're having troubles with an area, so you gotta go watch a YouTuber or go read some guides to level your gameplay up? Well, that's kind of what's happening here when Magito has to go meet up with the guild master Ludo to see if he can help him out with increasing his mana efficiency. Now, Ludo himself is like, wait, you want to increase your mana? Like, dude, you have a crazy amount of mana, like even more than me. I'm 1,000 years old. Like, how the heck do you want to increase your mana, dude? Like, I know a bunch of dark organizations that would love to just slice you up and figure out what's going on with inside you. And they have this conversation about mana and how these organizations would go about doing that. But the runaround is pretty much at the end of it, Ludo gives Makoto a book that supposedly will be able to help him somewhat in his studying of mana. Makoto appreciates it, and he goes and meets up with Eve in the library, who also gives him another book that's required reading for those who are enthusiastically engaged with the properties and proper applications of mana. In other words, it's a hardcore book for nerds who really want to learn about mana. So pretty much these two books are perfect for him, and now with these books, Makoto's summer plans are set, as his students are off adventuring and fighting in the forest and only need him once a week. For the rest of the week, Makoto has time to just exercise, train, and now study, and administrative duties within inside the demiplane. And one of these administrative duties is having a mock battle with the Wingkin. Now, the Wingkin so far have absolutely decimated all their fights with the rest of the races inside the demiplane, primarily because they're a flying unit and no one else is able to fly and reach them, so they have a pretty severe advantage when it comes to the other fighters. Now, when the mock battle is going to begin, the Wingkin are in the forest out of sight, and only when the battle begins do the two forces rush together to fight. So Makoto, he's prepared his spells, he's getting ready for a long drawn out fight because this is going to be pretty badass, and the fight only lasts about 5 minutes. The reason why for that is that when the Wingkin launch their attack, their units fly straight into the air and just hover in there. They're not really moving around all that much, so it makes Makoto's first volley of fire arrows pretty easily hitting every single one of them, just knocking out a good chunk of their forces, and pretty much it happens again and again. So he's just able to decimate them that way. Now, when their chief comes out to face him, it's a little bit more of a serious battle, but not really. He's able to defeat him pretty easily. I mean, this is Makoto, let's just be honest here. And he is able to wipe the floor with most people, so it's not really all that surprising. But with the battle complete, Makoto gives him some pointers. He states that, hey, you're used to having air superiority and not having to worry about people coming after you up there. You gotta change up your tactics a bit. You gotta stop diving in and being self-sacrificing like you were when you were facing me. That would just really hamper your abilities out there if you are fighting a stronger foe. So just reorganize how you're gonna fight it that way, and come up with some new battle tactics, because it won't be long before the other races fully understand your weaknesses and come after you. And Emma, who's standing right next to him at this point, is grinning like a madman. So obviously the orcs, their prize has been heavily damaged by the Wingkin, so they're gunning for him. And so good luck, my boys. You're going to need it when you face the orcs. Now from here, Mago goes on to do some more of his studies, to process more of the mana research that he has from both the notebook and the book that he got from Eve. And needless to say, his brain is just fried from all the studying. It's just the concepts that when you first read a textbook, you're just like, wait, what do you even mean that to be within is without and out is within? It didn't have that line, but I'm just saying that that line there can be a bit confusing. So he's going to have to spend some time actually studying the book. Now, he does go take a walk thinking about the processes, about what the textbooks are saying, and he decides to try the method of creating a mana field around him. And the way you do that is that you extend your arm and you focus your mana going through your arm and try to put a mana zone around yourself. And his first attempt absolutely fails at this when he gets knocked out and he's found by Mio and Tomoe, and he gets a flashback to when he was practicing his arrow shots where he was seemingly dying, going to the target and coming back, which absolutely freaked Mio and Tomoe out. So he doesn't tell him that he's doing something that seems to be almost just as dangerous as that, but he does thank him for their concern. Now, with that first attempt over with, Makoto goes back and does some more studying, some more research, and the next night he goes on to another separate hill and he tries it all over again, and this time he actually succeeds, creating a liquid mana form completely around him that is pretty much as hard as steel, or if not harder. so you'll be pretty well prepared if he ever has to fight the adventurer and dragon again, like they did at the end of season 1. Now, apparently during the next day, there's going to be a little bit of a demonstration going on, just demonstrating how much the demi-humans have leveled up since they began practicing and fighting each other. And the way that they're going to be testing that is on a giant boulder that Tomoe dug out of a mountain, and Shiki cast an invincible spell on that has also a power pointer on it. So when the forces go up, then strike it, the boulder will give them a number and tell them how they did. And they seem to be doing okay. I mean, not surprisingly, the Medusas out of the group does the worst. Apparently, doing petrification gaze on a stone doesn't really work. So, sorry girls, better luck next time. But the ones who did the best actually were the orcs, because they were just having brute strength, especially with Emma with the support spell, so that's no real surprise there. Actually, the more interesting aspects of this are the lizardkin, who demonstrated a freeze ray that just shot up into the air just to demonstrate to the wingkin that their time of dominance is coming to an end, and if they don't come up with some new tactics soon, they're going to get destroyed. So I like seeing that. Now, when they actually hit the boulder, their ranking was pretty good. I think it was about 40 points, so not too bad, but not the greatest. The orcs, I think, got like an 86 or an 87, so much better score than the lizardmen, but still, it's to be a commendable. Now, the dwarves, they give their best effort. Apparently, they crafted an axe that's supposed to split mountains. It goes from like this little small thing to something about 30 times its size, and they're able to wield it surprisingly quite efficiently. But when they bring it down the stone itself, I think they only get maybe a 50, maybe a 60 out of that, just demonstrating how much power it has. So it's going to take a lot more than that to actually split that boulder. So dwarves gotta go back to the drawing board. Sorry, boys. And with that, we move on to the ogres. Now, the ogres, the people representing them, are the two ogre girls that are dressed up in like magical girl leaf outfits. That one of them, the shorter one, seems to be pretty okay with it, and the other one is just can't believe that they're doing this in these uniforms. But the spell they unleash is quite strong. It creates an ice dome around the boulder, and they challenge everybody around them to attack the ice dome to see if they can break through. And surprisingly, no one's able to really break through it. And Tomoe herself mentions that if she was to try to break through this dome herself, she would have some difficulty doing so. And Makoto was like, wow, this is an amazing barrier. No one can get through. It's almost impenetrable. Until he notices one major flaw. And that major flaw is that although the dome has protection above and on all sides, it's not protected below. And so all you have to do is get an earth mage or just a shovel, dig underneath the dome, and voila, you're inside. Makoto points this out to the girls and saying like, yeah, your abilities are good, but you're going to have to figure out a way to prevent someone from doing that. Once you can do that, then you have an amazing spell. But until then, keep working on it, ladies. Their score, I think, is somewhere around the 40s as well. It wasn't all that strong of a score, but I thought it was a pretty decent one for them. Now, with a demonstration from all the races of the demo plane done, Shiki himself steps forward to demonstrate his growth and abilities. And what he does, he starts off with a ritual summoning by sacrificing some rings on his fingers to transform his staff into a dragon-slaying sword. And the man does a badass move. He takes his giant-ass sword and he cuts straight through the boulder in one clean move, demonstrating that if the adventurer and dragon ever show up again to fight Makoto won't be facing them alone this time. Now, with Shiki's demonstration concluded, Makoto decides like, hey, I'm going to show them my new skill that I just got. And everyone's very interested in what Makoto is going to be showing them until he unleashes his massive amount of mana and brings forth his solid mana shield around him. And Shiki, Tomoe, and everyone's like what the heck? Because mana, it can't turn into physical form. Although these books that he's been reading have all theorized that this is a possibility, it's never been actually done because the sheer amount of mana you need to exude just for this doesn't exist. I mean, Makoto at this point, he is pretty much a god, so it's not that hard for him, but for anybody normal, like even someone on Tomoe or Shiki's level who understand magic and what its uses are, could not do this. So just really giving us another indication of how much Makoto has really been leveling up with his abilities. And with that, he rushes forward and slams his fist into the boulder and completely shattering it, causing dust to fly everywhere, just shocking the whole crowd, just the sheer amount of power that Makoto is now at. And we conclude the episode with a little bit of a teaser for the next one, with a talking bear and a talking wolf far off in the demi-plane looking at the village, wondering if they need to be concerned about the mana coming from that village. So we leave it there. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is entailing, but I personally really enjoy this episode. I like to see that Makoto is continuing to growing, even though he is a badass OP character. I still like to see characters have some growth of some form, and it is a pretty logical step that Makoto would want to increase his output of mana if he's not able to just straight out increase it. So I'm glad that they had the storyline laid out and the way that they did, how it mixed in well with what was going on with the demi-plane at the time. Now, you guys leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part? Did you enjoy Makoto learning how to level up his abilities? Did you like the mock battle with the Winkin? Or were you more of the fan of the contest of strength, or I guess I should say the demonstration of strength by the residents of the demi-plane? You guys let me know down in the comment sections down below, and I look forward to seeing you again. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.